Anybody who follows politics knows the latest story. That's with Governor Christie of New Jersey, who had people working for him who basically closed down a couple lanes onto the George Washington Bridge in retaliation for some mayor in Fort Lee not supporting Christie and thereby causing traffic jams for 4 days. These people are goofs. But you look at Christie, these people who work for Christie. But you look at Christie, and everybody is saying, is this going to hurt him? Is this going to make him look bad? I think this is great. Christie is standing up here and saying he blew it. He's accepting full responsibility. In a world of victimization, where everybody in this country it's their fault, never their own fault. This man's standing up and saying he made a mistake, he trusted the wrong people, he asked for their resignation, he got it, and then he went on TV, or wherever it was in New Jersey. I mean, he went on TV, but he went in front of the press, and for 2 hours, approximately, stood there and took all of their questions. Of course, I didn't listen to the whole press conference. I've only heard snippets of it. But these questions sure sounded like these guys were digging, trying to find something that wasn't there. And he didn't hesitate. He kept coming back. He feels sad. He feels this. He really feels bad. He's going to learn. He's going to get mad later. And I think what it is that people like about Christie, that everybody is missing on MSNBC, on Fox. They talk about it, but they talk around it. So I think there's going to be a new zeitgeist that comes around in 2016. Now, nobody can call who's going to win an election or what's going to happen. But every 8 years, if a president has 2 terms, people get tired of that leader and want almost the exact opposite, or they look for something that helps to change things. Here we've had George Bush, who was just totally out of it the last couple of years of his administration because of the way Iraq went, his mistake going in there. And though he did a couple of things to try to help alleviate the crash, he sure didn't stop it. And then we've had a president come in who has been reactive, not proactive on issues. He'll throw out ideas, but essentially lets things happen after he says this is what he wants to do. Kind of like George Bush. Christie's different. Christie's coming in and saying, no way, I'm taking responsibility. The buck stops here. There's a problem, it's my problem, and I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to learn from my mistake, and I'm going to go on from there. The exact opposite from what we've been hearing from the administration or from normal politicians when everybody talks about plausible denial on Fast and Furious, plausible denial on Benghazi, plausible denial on the IRS, plausible denial on the Affordable Care Act, which was so important, which we needed so badly. We really just needed an overhaul in healthcare that the president and really his administration would allow the whole thing to implode. And the president didn't just walk up there and say, I blew it, I'm sorry, and he got rid of who he had to get rid of and replace him. I think it's as I said, a new zeitgeist. I think people are going to start liking this. I think as the word gets around, whether or not they agree with Christie or somebody who is like Christie, they're going to start supporting people who are willing to step up, do what's got to be done, lead, take the arrows, take the slings, and be upfront about everything. Bully Christie. Bully.